Let's see how Arena will be shaped. Some Magic Arena post-banning. Caldri Familiar, Growth Spiral, Teferi Time Reveler, Wilderness Reclamation, they were all banned. Let's see how Arena will be shaped. I'm still playing my RDW Red Deck wins. Now it seems that an RDW deck, it's quite a good deck with the after the bans. Starting hand, I think it's a good hand. Three lands, Fervent Champion, Robber of the Rich, Annex, quite good. Mountain, Fervent Champion. That is the ideal opening hand for a RDW. Our opponent playing a Giganta, Lazotep, Amas, another Fervent Champion. I think put in play Fervent Champion. The only reason why I put play Fervent Champion will get a +1/+1, therefore they both have first strike. If he blocks, both of them will die. If he doesn't block, like how my opponent did, I could play Light Up the Stage. Unfortunately, Light Up the Stage gave me 2 mountains, which is not really a good thing. Nothing playable. Kite Self-Rebooter. Nothing that he can steal. Knight of the Legion. Play one of the mountain. Play Anax. Attack with all. Everything he blocks with, I'm going to kill because I have first strike. Unless he blocks, he does a double blocks, which still I'm going to kill someone. Judith, he's at 9, I'm at 20. Judith, it's a very strong card. If a creature dies, Judith will do 1 damage to any target. Therefore, that means that my favorite champions will die because they are 1/1. Put Runaway Steamkin and put Robber of the Rich. I'm not going to attack because if creatures die, Judith will do 1 damage. Obviously, my opponent is trying to play as much creatures as possible, so they will die and Judith will remove my creatures. I'm going to play everything I have. Attack with everything. Now it will be a very, very interesting. Remember that my opponent is at 9. Basque Talent. I have my Castle Emberet untapped. That means that I can remove my 3 counters from Runaway Steamkin and give +1/+0 to my creatures. Because I have Annex, if my creatures die, I will create my 1/1 Satyr. They can block, but they can attack. And with a Castle Emberet, having a lot of Satyrs, it's a very useful thing. He did double blocks, he did a lot of things. He didn't block with Judith. He didn't block my 2 Robber of the Rich. But because my favorite champion have first strike, his creatures will die first. Give +1/+1 to all my creatures. Now Judith can do 1 damage to a target. He's going to remove my favorite champion. He's at 3. He has only Judith, but he can do a lot of damage again. He killed my Annex. I have 6. That's why I told you. Having Annex, swing with everything. Remember, an RDW player, never trust an RDW player when he swings with everything. Swinging with everything means 2 things. He knows that he's going to win the game. First game in, quite a good game. Second game, let's see our opponent. No companion. Quite good hand. I think I'm going to keep it. 2 mountains. 2 lands for an RDW. It's a very good hand. Grim Initiator. I like to play Grim Initiator only because they have first strike. And first strike, it's a very useful mechanic in this particular game. Scryland. Runaway Steamkin. Runaway Steamkin, it's a very, very good enabler for this deck. Hey Shock, my Runaway Steamkin. Runaway Steamkin is a very good enabler because it gives you chance to ramp in mana. That's why Runaway Steamkin is a very good and a very key card in this particular deck. He plays an opt. Sprite Dragon. Haste. Initiate. Light up the stage. Mountain. Shock the Sprite Dragon. You need to remove any threat as early as possible. Cards like Sprite Dragon, these type of cards, you need to remove them as soon as possible. They can get very, very difficult to remove at a late stage. Annex. Dreadhold Arcanist, it's a very strong card. He already played the shock, he has the opt. So whenever Dreadhold Arcanist is going to attack, he's going to play again those particular cards. That's why I played Annex. If he swings with Dreadhold Arcanist, I can block with Annex and kill Dreadhold Arcanist. Probably is going to shock my Annex or Grim Initiate. Shock Grim Initiate. Thank you Ma for 1 Satyr and 1 Amas, 1 zombie army. Unfortunately, without the Grim Initiator, my Annex it's a 2-3. It's not a 3-3. And I think he played it very well, removing my Annex very well. I think it was a very well move from his side. It's going to be a very hard game. Storming Entity, it's going to be a very hard game. I still have an Annex in my hand, the Robber of the Rich, 2 Robber of the Rich, and I have my Embercleave. Swing with Robber of the Rich. The reason why I played Robber of the Rich and not Runaway Steamkin, because I needed 4 attackers. Having 4 attackers, I could swing my Embercleave with 2. Now it's going to be very hard. He played an M48, killing my Robber of the Rich. Very good from his side, very, very good. Unfortunately, Dreadhold Arcanist will continue to move, infuriate, opt, anything that he has in the graveyard. We are 14-13. Still have my Embercleave in play. Another Storming Entity. Let's see what is the ideal play now. Annex. He has another an infuriate and 2 opt in play. So that's going to be very difficult. Play Runaway Steamkin. Play the second Runaway Steamkin. I want to try as much as possible having blockers. That's why I didn't attack with the zombie army. I know that the Satyrs can't block. I'm still at 14, so my life it's quite good. If he swings with everything, and what he did, he swings with everything, he's going to play the Infuriate, I'm sure, playing the Infuriate. I'm still at 14. Let's do some calculation. Storming Entity and Sprite Dragon will become quite strong as much as you cast sorceries or instant. He's at 6, 9. I need to block something. I block one of the Arcanist. I'm at 1. Now, I think I'm going to win the game. Yes, I'm going to win the game. Put the Runaway Steamkin. I'm doing some calculations. No one didn't play Annex. I can play Annex. My Runaway Steamkin will go to 3. Remove the 3 and play Embercleave on the second Runaway Steamkin. I need to do 13 damage. And I think I'm going to swing with everything. Never trust an RDW when it swing with everything. I think he didn't expect that I will be doing so much damage in one turn. Second win, very good. That's why this video is called Never Trust an RDW when he swings with everything. Swinging with everything means 2 things. Or he's going to win, or he's going to lose. So never trust. Good hand, 2 lands, as I always. 2 hands in RDW, it's very good hand. Sometimes even one land is a very good hand. Favorite champion, Speaker of Heaven. This is, I think it's a mono white deck. Mono white decks, they are very difficult to get rid of, especially if you go late in the game. Going late in the game, these players gain a lot of life, so it's very difficult to get rid of an of a mono white, especially life gaining mono white player, Speaker of Heaven can create very annoying angels, especially if you have quite a more life. And that's what he's going to do. Revitalize, draw a card, takes 3 life. Swing with Favorite Champion. If he blocks, it's dead. If he doesn't block, it's dead also, because I have the Shock. And I have also Stomp. But probably I'm going to play Light Up of this stage, the best thing to do. And shock his Speaker of Heaven. If he gets a certain amount of life, Speaker of Heaven will create 4/4 angels flying, and they are very difficult to get rid, especially with my deck. My deck is a very fast deck. The aim of my deck is to win the game as hasty as possible. Daxos, another very difficult to get rid creature. Grim Initiate. Let's see. He has one plane untapped. That means one thing. Or he has something that can defend Daxos, which is Karametra's Blessing. Heliod Suncrown. If I stomp Daxos and he does a Karametra Blessing, I will lose my creature, my card. Torbran. Now my 1/1 first strike can be a 3/1 first strike. Let's see if he's going to block. If he blocks, he has Karametra Blessing. At least I'm going to make him use the card. It's a very difficult deck to deal with. Light of Hope. He gains some life. He managed to remove my favorite champion. As I told you, mono white life gaining, they are very difficult decks for an RDW, especially if we go late in the game, and I think we are already late in the game. Heliod Suncrown, it's already a creature. Ajani. I still have some good cards in hands. Runaway Steamkin, a Stomp. I forgot to play my Runaway Steamkin first. Now I can Stomp. Because of Torban, Stomp will do 4 damage. At least I removed a very difficult and a very important Planeswalker from his side. He still has Heliod. At least now it's not a creature. Unbroken Formation. He's trying to gain life as much as possible. They have Indestructible. They have +1/+1. I'm blocking with 2. Unfortunately, I forgot that they have Indestructible. My creatures die and his doesn't. If I didn't forget that they had Indestructible, I would have blocked with only 1 creature. It was a very fool move from my side. The game is still on. He's at 29, I'm at 15. It's a very difficult game. I told you, these decks are very difficult decks to deal with, especially with an RDW mono white life gaining. Sometimes RDW just swings with all they have, but obviously I'm not going to swing with everything. Still, I don't know if I want to kill his Ajani or kill his Daxos. Ajani will get Bone Crusher Giant. Ajani will get a +1/+1 for every time that he gains life, and because of Heliod and Daxos, he's going to gain a lot of life. Another Daxos. He played a second Daxos. Daxos is a legendary, so he has to choose one of them and remove him. Probably he's going to choose the second one. He did only this move only to gain life and only to put the +1/+1 counters. Daxos now it's a 6/7. Here it will put an extra +1/+1. They are 7/8/8/8. Light of Hope, gaining more life. Can you gain more life than that? I know I'm still in the game, it's 35-15, but his Ajani, it's a 10-10. And his Daxos is a 7/8. And also gives Ajani lifelink. I'm going to block Ajani with Bone Crusher Giant, doing 6 damage, and play the shock on Ajani. At least I can move one creature from his side. I'm 8. My dice. I'm going to play on this deck the shock, not letting Heliod put the +1/+1 counter. Now Daxos is a 7/8 and he's going to put more counters, 9/10. Swing with the zombie. Only to play light up the stage for 1. I need something good. I get a E.N.D and then Runaway Steamkin. I can play Runaway Steamkin. Grim Initiate. Let's see, Grim Initiate. Probably it's the best thing I can do. His user playing a Stomp on his life totals 45. E.N.D. He does not have any land, any cards in hand. And that's a very good thing. Yes, the castle can give him some. He didn't swing with Daxos. That's good. Now I have 2 potential removers, Bone Crusher and Shock. I don't think he can do anything. Only one land. I think I can swing with everything and play Embercleave, Stomp and Shock. Runaway Steamkin will enable me to play all the cards in hand. Let's see what he's going to do. I hope he blocked Daxos. He used Daxos to block. If he doesn't use Daxos to block, I'm dead. Let's see what he's going to do. If he doesn't block, I'm not going to win the game for sure. But at least I can play Embercleave. I can play a Shock or a Stomp. I can play the Stomp on his human, and they then play Bone Crusher with Runaway Steamkin, so that I have a blocker. And I need a blocker for Daxos. He blocks Daxos. He blocks the zombie. I think I can kill Daxos. Killing Daxos is very important for this game. Daxos is a very big creature. He's going to get bigger and bigger as much as Heliod is in play. I don't have any removal for Heliod. I don't have any exile. I'm going to play Embercleave. I need to remove Daxos. My zombie with Embercleave will be doing 4 damage. I have the Shock and the Bone Crusher. So I'm going to put Embercleave on the zombie. My zombie will do 4 damage. My Stomp will do another 4 damage. If I play the Shock now, here I did a very I could have played Shock and save my zombie. Sometimes these games tend you to lose a little bit of concentration, tends you to play very good, but I removed all his creatures. And now Heliod can do nothing. 1 card in hand, self as savior. They all have summon sickness. I can play my Embercleave. Remember, the Self Savior will give indestructible to another creature. So if I swing with everything, he can block service He can block with the Selfless Savior and the human, sacrifice Selfless and give the human indestructible, and human indestructible can kill my Grim Initiate. The other creatures there, he cannot kill my other two creatures. I think he knows that the game is lost. He's thinking he has 3 times, three timers. I think he thinks the game is lost. If I win this game, I managed to turn around a very difficult game. I think my opponent did quite a good couple of mistakes. I also did a couple of mistakes. I think I could have played much better. But I think blocking Daxos, using Daxos as blocker, I think he did a very big mistake. If you're playing mono white, life gaining, you have a lot of life, why block with your best creature? Don't block with your best creature. It's something that you need to learn. Something that you need to learn with your experience. You are at 40, I was at 8. You had a very good creature like Daxos, he was 9-10 if I'm not mistaken. I swing with everything. You had 40 something life. And what you did, and you block and use Daxos as a blocker. Why use Daxos as a blocker? But I don't know. You could have easily win the game. Because I was stepped out. Okay, I would have done some damage, okay. But you were 40 something. Now he's going to let the timer go, and I think he knows that the game is lost. Unfortunately, a lot of players do this when they do a good game and they lose because your opponent turned around the game in their favor. They used to just close the game, just go away, just pissed off. Maybe they are angry. At the end of the day, it's a game, don't get angry. A lot of players do this, but why block Daxos? You could easily leave everything going. Winning the game with 1 life, winning the game with 100 life, it's always winning. Swing with my creatures. Now I can do a lot of damage. I left Grim Initiate, not attacking Grim Initiate only because of Selfless Savior. He can give indestructible to the human. He didn't even block. I think he just closed the game and maybe he went to sleep. I don't know. 1 card in hand. I think the game is won. It was a very difficult game. It was a very, very difficult game. As I said, mono white life gaining. If you don't win the game ASAP and you go far in the game, it's very difficult to win. I managed to win only because he did a very big mistake. Blocking, using Daxos as a blocker. I know it was a 9-10, but never trust an RDW when he or she swings with everything. As I said, RDW swings with everything only and only because they know they are going to win or they know they are going to lose. So that's how an RDW plays. I don't know if you play red deck wins. I really like this deck. The game is won. Thank you for watching this video and subscribe to my channel.